Well, we're going to be very explosive. This will be one of the most explosive offenses in all of college football.
Arkansas has fired Chad Morris, and we got to talk about it.
A lot about this, but Chad Morris, less than 2 years after his arrival in Fayetteville, he is out, obviously.
As of today, 11/10/19, Chad Morris has been fired at the University of Arkansas.
After being throttled at home by his former QB Ty Story, Chad Morris's reign as a Razorback has come to a close.
Chad Morris gone, fired after 2 years. Yo! What's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network YouTube channel. I am the host and creator, Ty Hudson. I hope you're doing well. I hope your week was great. For Hawk fans, this is a big one. This is a big game. You know, got to prove that last week wasn't a fluke, that you went on the road, you beat Mississippi State, who probably was overrated, but still, you're going to take that win all day and night long, especially after what you've seen the last 2 years. So speaking of Chad Morris, Arkansas is going to be playing him this weekend, and Gus Malzahn, two guys who have screwed Arkansas over. And let's not pretend like Gus Malzahn hasn't used Arkansas as leverage to gain a favorable contract with the Auburn Tigers. Gus Malzahn sucks. So does Chad Morris. They both suck. This weekend is huge for the Razorbacks, for fans, for the players who were more or less extremely disappointed and let down by Chad Morris. This game is meaningful. So if you guys would, at the end of the video, like, comment, share the content, check out all the links provided for you down below in the description box. And of course, as always, if you haven't yet, tap the subscribe button provided for you down below. The long-awaited Chad Morris versus his former team matchup that Hawk fans everywhere have had marked down on their calendars since the day Chadwick Morris was hired as the offensive coordinator by his good pal and friend forever, Gus Malzahn. But how long will the friendship last? Auburn's offense, to nobody's surprise here in Arkansas, has underperformed and underachieved so far in 2020. And now they face a Razorback defense that held a high-flying, high-scoring Leach air raid offense to just a couple of scores. Also, rumors are that Auburn could be without at least a starter or two in this matchup against the Hogs. Arkansas will have at least a starter out for this game as well. So let's talk about what the Arkansas defense will be dealing with against this Auburn offense. Well, they've been riding along with kind of a flat tire so far on offense. Auburn has, they've just really, again, they've underachieved. It's not been what Auburn fans were hoping it would be. But make no mistake about it, at quarterback, Nix is more than capable of letting the ball fly and making plays. But he's also shown that he can get a little antsy in the pocket. We saw how Hogs handled an impatient quarterback last week against KJ Costello, forcing some turnovers. Not comparing the two, but Nix will need to be patient in the pocket. The Hogs will make you pay, and that's exactly what Arkansas is hoping happens. Nix overall has been pretty inconsistent through the air, completing just 55% of his throws and only 3 scores so far with 1 pick. But he is deadly off the play action, completing around 80% of those throws right off the play fakes. Up front on the offensive line, they've given up 4 sacks in 2 games. But their biggest issue, they're more or less getting dominated up front. They're not getting a lot of push up there. Razorbacks can relate. Their run blocking's not been so great. But there's definitely big-time room for improvement up front on both sides of the line of scrimmage for Auburn. But since we're focusing on the offense, there's some work that needs to be done. They're trying to get these guys settled in. Nix and this Auburn offense, they're going to have to establish the rush against Arkansas's run defense. Arkansas is salty. They're doing really well. Their front 7 have really outperformed all expectations so far this year, especially with Bumper Pool and Morgan. Those guys have been playing their rear ends off. Auburn does have playmakers on that side of the ball. The problem isn't them, according to Auburn fans. Don't worry, Tiger fans. We know exactly what you're talking about. Switching over to the Auburn Tiger defense, it sounds like they'll be without standout all-conference linebacker KJ Britt due to needing surgery for torn ligaments in his right thumb. Auburn this year on defense haven't been near as good as I thought they would be, but still not terrible. Giving up 413 yards per game, not so great. But only giving up 20 points per game, especially when you consider who they've played so far this year, not too bad. Their secondary is allowing around 240 yards through the air on average so far through those 2 games. Run defense, though, yeah, they've been an issue. The Kentucky Wildcats ran the ball for 145 yards against the Auburn Tigers, and then Georgia ran for 200 plus. Somehow, the Tigers only allowing 1 rushing touchdown between those 2 matchups. So, how do the Hogs win this ball game on the road? How do they do it? Back-to-back weeks. How do you get it done, Ty? Tell us. Well, they're already at a pretty big advantage not having Chad Morris on the staff. That's a start. Next, you're up against a run defense that looks like, well, you could get something going on the ground. And not to mention, they're missing a key part of their front 7 build. Pretty simple, right? Establish north-south run game. Give them pure shock and awe between the tackles. Get it going. Assuming Boyd is healthy and ready to go, that's your guy. We all know that. That's the guy. He's the guy that's going to run behind the center and in between the guards. Or behind the guards, around the guards. Sprinkle in some Traylon Smith, baby. Little TJ Hammonds out on the outside edges, not on trick play end arounds to TJ Hammonds. Let's avoid that. Throw that damn thing, throw that play out of the window. Throw it into the garbage. Make Auburn stop your run game. You've been physical on defense the last 2 games. Being physical is something Sam Pittman wants to do. On defense, you've been physical, well-prepared, and ready to go. The offense has the opportunity here to do the same against a wounded Auburn defense. A balanced attack will work, but play physical up front. Wear them down. The offense has to avoid constant 3-and-outs. 3-and-outs, period. We know what's going to happen, though. Auburn does have some talent on defense. They're going to force some 3-and-outs, but just don't make a habit of it. Give your defense some time to rest and take some damn pressure off them boys, huh? Things will open up on offense. The O-line just has to want it. Again, I think you got to dominate the line of scrimmage. You got to, on both sides of the ball, obviously, but especially on the offensive side, get the run game going. On defense, you can bring 4 or 5 defenders and even stack the box a little. Watch the flats. Keep everything out in front of you. Just don't bite on the play action and continue to tackle well in open space. Nix isn't the type to turn the ball over as much as Costello was, but the defense should be able to pressure him into making some bad decisions or force him into making bad throws. So, with my pick, for the first time this year, I'm taking the Hogs in a close one. 24-19. The run game churns and burns. The defense gives up a little more than what they did against Mississippi State, but the Hogs fight their way to defeating the Auburn Tigers on the road. That's my pick. Again, 24-19 Arkansas. Woo, pig suey! Go Hogs.